For over 5 years now, I've been on a mission to raise awareness about what I consider to be the greatest child abuse scandal in the history of modern medicine, the practice of what is known as gender-affirming care, or colloquially known as trying to change the sex of children with puberty-blocking drugs, the opposite sex's hormones, and surgeries. All because of this idea that these children are what is known as transgender. Now, this might be shocking to some, but I maintain that there's no such thing as a transgender child. I have had thousands of conversations on the street. I go to university campuses all around the world. I go to conferences. I work with psychologists, psychiatrists, doctors, all the major conservative organizations across the West as well. And in all of my time having these tens of thousands of conversations, I haven't yet met one person who can tell me what a transgender child is. What does it mean to be transgender? What does it mean to have a gender identity? I am going to go through a few slides today to discuss what I consider to be really one of the greatest lies ever told in the history of the human race. The positive message we should be sending our kids is that they're beautiful just as they are. Instead, they're getting a message that they were born wrong and they need to change their body. The only thing that is affirming in children is self-hatred. And we'll get into what type of children these are who are identifying this way, and in particular, we'll get into what type of children are going to gender clinics and what's being done to them. But let's go to the first slide if we can. Thank you. So this is difficult to read from your distance, but this is honestly the most used resource in the world when defining what these various terms surrounding gender ideology are. So this is called the gender-bred person. This is produced by an activist. And it defines on the left side there, under gender identity, it says that we're all on a scale of womanness or manness, and that our gender identity is based on our personality, our job, our hobbies, our likes and dislikes. And I would maintain that this is a rather regressive and sexist way to look at what your gender is. What does your job have to do with your gender? What do your hobbies have to do with your gender? Are we going to tell little boys who like to bake with their mom in the kitchen that must put them on the female spectrum of gender? That's absurd. Are we going to tell girls who don't want to wear dresses and who want to have short hair, perhaps who like to play sports with the boys, that makes them a boy? This is nonsensical. More than half of the women growing up are what we would call in North America tomboys. It's just more fun, perhaps. You don't have to wear a dress to be a girl. The positive message, again, we should be sending kids is there's no right or wrong way to be a boy or a girl. If a boy is more effeminate, he's not trans. He's just a boy. But this ideology has come along and it's taught our children that if they don't conform to what are these stereotypes, that they might be transgender, that they might have been born in the wrong body, and that the solution for them is to go on drugs that have never been approved for this purpose. We are giving children chemical castration drugs that are used to this day on sex offenders. They're given to pedophiles. The same drug is now called a puberty blocker. What are these drugs? And these are what are responsible for the generation of your sex hormones at the onset of puberty. Girls develop estrogen. Boys produce testosterone. And this is what causes us to generate what are known as our secondary sex characteristics. All the things that happen during puberty. Boys get stronger, they get a deeper voice, they get a hairy face, hairy body, girls develop their breasts, their hips get wider. While children are on these drugs, none of these secondary sex characteristics will develop. The idea being that we need to keep these children looking neutral, because if we don't, they will develop into a man or a woman, and that will make it harder for them to pass as the opposite sex when they're an adult.